Hi everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Choma Ojato from the Delightful Journal. In my previous videos, God is and weakness is strength, I talked about who God can be to us. Since it's a two-way relationship, it's also important for us to know who we can be to Him. But in order to get to that understanding, there are three things that we need to get to know. The first one is the understanding that everything God created was created for a purpose, whether it's the plants, animals, human beings. For instance, in Genesis 2, God commanded Adam to tend to the garden. That was his purpose. And for Noah, God told him to build the ark so that he would save his family and two of every animal before the flood. Moses, he saved the Israelites from the hands of the Egyptians. Paul, we know that his purpose was to preach the gospel to the Gentiles. And then Jesus Christ, salvation of the whole world. These are some examples of people in the Bible that knew their purpose. Their purpose were very clear. And then secondly, in order to get to the point of knowing your purpose, you have to make your relationship with God personal. I mean, how are you supposed to know what He called you to be if you don't know Him? For instance, in Jeremiah 29:13, He talks about that if we search Him with our whole heart, then we will find Him. Or in Revelations 3:20, He talks about that He's constantly knocking at our door. That if we come and open the door for Him, that He will come in and share a meal with us. It means that there is a dynamic, there's a relationship between both parties, between God and us. These men that I talked about, they knew their purpose in God. For them to get to that point, they had a relationship with God. And then thirdly, after you get to have that personal relationship with God, you have to ask. How are you going to know the answer if you don't ask? You have to ask. You have to ask God who He created you to be. But the most interesting thing is, as much as some of us, don't know why we've been created, God has actually planted it in our heart. He says that He started a great work in us, meaning there's already an active work in our lives. For instance, in Proverbs 25, He says that the purpose of a person's heart are like deep waters, but a man with an insight is the one that's going to be able to dig it out. Meaning, you have to have that insight from the Holy Spirit in order to dig out that purpose that God has planted in your life. But you have to have a relationship with Him in order to do that. Living a life of purpose, knowing that your life has purpose, knowing who you are, gives life a whole different meaning. You start living life in purpose and on purpose. Every action you make has a reason behind it. Your motives for those actions will be in line for why God has called you. So I'm going to ask that question once again. Who are you? Thank you once again for listening to me this week and making me your weekly delight. Have a great day. Bye.